Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Good evening and welcome to Vernon Vibes with Mayor Vic Marotta. It's always good to be with you, to have the opportunity to talk about what's happening in Vernon Township, your government, and our municipality. And as I like to begin my program, I would like to start with a few announcements. I want to point out to the public that on Saturday, April 27th, from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon at the Township DPW Garage, our Animal Control Office will be offering the annual free rabies clinic. And so I would suggest that you pencil it in on your calendar, because it's required that your pet have a rabies shot in order to be licensed in Vernon Township. The shot is free. It's done by volunteers, and I'd like to encourage all pet owners in Vernon Township to take advantage of the rabies clinic, which will be on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Vernon DPW Garage. If you have any questions, you can call the Vernon Animal Shelter at 973-764-7751. I will have the opportunity in our next episode to remind you again, but I'd like to give you an early warning so that all will prepare and be ready. It'll save you money, and it'll make relicensing of your animal a lot more comfortable for you and easier to get done. In addition, we're coming to the time of the year when one of the major events in Vernon Township occurs, and of course that I'm referring to is Vernon's Earth Fest. The Vernon Earth Fest has grown into an extremely successful family day out to celebrate our environment and, in fact, to educate our residents and visitors to Vernon on the importance of preserving our environment and enhancing it. This year, the Vernon Earth Fest, which is sponsored by the Vernon Chamber of Commerce Charities, and the proceeds of the event are used for scholarships for Vernon students who are interested in furthering their education in the area of environmental sciences and the like. This year, the Earth Fest takes place at the Heaven Hill Farms on Route 94 in the north end of Vernon, a beautiful facility where we have in fact held the Earth Fest now for several years. Those who have been there know it's a tremendous day, and that is scheduled for April 28th. That's a Sunday from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. So again, while you have your calendar out concerning the rabies clinic, you might also want to pencil in Earth Day. I want to invite all Vernon residents and all residents of Sussex County to visit Vernon on that day and see what we have to offer. Our local businesses, our local vendors. There'll be lots of educational information, tips on improving our environment. It's been a tremendously successful program, and as a matter of fact, last year the visitors numbered in the thousands. So we'd like to extend that invitation to you. Hopefully you'll take advantage of it. Surely there'll be more advertising, but I'll look forward to seeing you there, because I will be there. We'll be back in a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. A couple of announcements that I'd like to share with you about your community that I'm sure you'll be interested in. Vernon Township has been designated for a reforestation grant funded by the Tennessee Gas Pipeline, a $30,000 grant which is designed for the community to be able to, in fact, plant trees and replace trees that were lost to the construction of the pipeline. I'd like to take this moment to thank the Vice Chairman of the Environmental Commission, Mrs. Beverly Buds, and Member Mike Chesky, along with the entire Environmental Commission, for working on acquiring this grant for Vernon. And in fact, you will be seeing in the not too distant future crews planting trees, shrubs, and the kinds of naturally occurring plant life that makes up Vernon Township. We're pleased by being able to get this grant. It's not a grant that we have to match so that it doesn't impact on our taxes, and I'm sure that the community will be that much better for it. In addition, recently, Vernon Township was recognized as having developed and produced the best municipal website in Sussex County. We're very proud of that. As a matter of fact, one of the things that your new government did upon being installed in office was to address the township website and to improve it. Now, just so you're aware, the recognition comes from a study done by Monmouth University in which all of the websites, all of the municipal websites in the state of New Jersey were ranked and rated. Of the 564 municipalities in New Jersey, Vernon was ranked number 106, which puts us in the top 20%, and certainly something that we can be proud of as a starting point as we move to improve that website to bring to you more information at all times. One of the things that is being worked on and has been is figuring out a way to make available to you on our website a link so that you can in fact watch the Vernon Township Council meetings if you care to do so. I anticipate that that will be available to us before 2013 is over. There are some technical glitches that we're working on, but certainly we're working toward it. We're proud of the designation that we've achieved. To be in the top 20% in the state in our first year, I think is something that we should all be proud of. And hopefully you will use the website. The address is www.vernontwp.com, and you can find virtually anything that you're looking for in terms of Vernon Township. There are several drop-downs which allow you to, in fact, find the information you're looking for and the contacts that you're looking for, and hopefully the information in terms of the minutes of our meetings and the contracts and all the other things that are part of it. It's a wealth of knowledge, and so I would encourage you to, in fact, use it and go there. It's something that we're very, very proud of. Excuse me. In addition to the grant for reforestation, Vernon Township has been the recipient of several grants, one of which is a safety grant from the state Attorney General's office, Click It or Ticket, and we will be funded for a campaign to communicate to you, our residents, the necessity and the wisdom of using your seatbelts. And so we're very happy to have that support from the state, and I'm happy to report to you that we are, in fact, taking advantage of those grants that are available to Vernon Township that do not increase the need for our use of property tax to secure them. The biggest news of this week's show is the 2013 budget. On Monday evening at the Municipal Town Council meeting, that being the meeting of April the 8th, the budget was presented. Present for that presentation and adopted, present for that public hearing and that adoption were Mr. Bud Jones of the Nisavachi and Company, Mr. Bill Zuckerman, our CFO, as well as myself and Mr. Jimes. We presented that budget to the council, and when we come back from this break, we'll talk more about the specifics and how it will affect your life. We'll be right back.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. As I mentioned before the break, I wanted to spend some time with you this evening talking about the 2013 budget. As I indicated, it was adopted last evening by the Vernon Town Council by a 4-to-1 vote. The negative vote came from Councilman Dan Kadish. Nonetheless, your town budget for 2013 for municipal purposes again brings you a tax decrease for municipal purposes. But in addition to the tax decrease, there are some other objectives in this budget that we have in fact included that I know that you'll be happy to hear of. Those of you who followed my campaign for mayor in 2011 know that there were several commitments that I made to you should you decide to elect me as mayor. And first was to reduce the property tax, which we have done now for 2 years straight. The only community in the state of New Jersey that has been able to, in fact, provide that kind of management to the budgetary process on behalf of their residents. And we're proud of that. It takes a lot of people to do that. It doesn't happen just because the mayor or the council indicate that we want it to happen. It takes the employees, the department heads, and the people who work here stewarding your precious tax dollars and using them in a way that in fact have provided you with the services that you demand and that you need. It's not only the issue of having been able to reduce the taxes, but we have been able to do it without cutting services and, as a matter of fact, in some cases, increasing and improving the ability of our town government to function. I said when I ran that I would reduce the property taxes, that we would in fact pay down debt, and that we would in fact improve the cash fund surplus. So I'd like to share with you a few numbers as we approach the halfway mark of this term. When I took office in July of 2011, at the beginning of the 2011 budget year, the cash fund surplus for Vernon Township was approximately $940,000. Now, the State Department of Community Affairs makes it very clear that a rule of thumb is that you should have approximately 10% of your operating budget available in cash fund surplus. That's to be sure that the town can meet all of its commitments, not only in terms of the operation of the township, but in terms of making the payments to the school board and to the county, since it's the township that is the fiduciary agent that collects the taxes for all three governments. Even though we don't have any say over how much the school board or the county spends, it's our responsibility to collect that and to see to it that they get it. So there has to be a cash surplus to be sure that there's never a point in time when the township can't meet its fiduciary responsibilities to the county and to the school. At the present time, as a result of the measures that we have implemented here, I would like to report to you proudly that in addition to being able to use $943,000 of cash surplus to lay against the operating budget to overcome the loss in assessed value of over $10 million and to give the township residents a tax decrease, we also have been able to increase that cash fund surplus to well over $1.9 million. what I'm basically saying to you is through good financial management and good management practices on the part of our employees, we have been able, in fact, to garner and husband your precious dollars in a way that will keep the township secure and able to function, continue to reduce your property taxes, and the third leg of that platform that I ran on was to, in fact, pay down our debt. In fact, the amount of debt that Vernon Township municipal government is responsible for is approximately the same as it was when I entered office, but that's precluded because of the purchase of the sewer system, excuse me, and the event of Irene, the hurricane. When we come back after the break, I'll talk more specifically about those numbers and what they mean to you in the future. We'll be right back.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. I've spent a lot of time analyzing Vernon Township's debt along with Mr. Bill Zuckerman, our CFO, and with Mr. Bud Jones, our auditor, as well as Mr. Jerry Jimes, our business administrator. And I believe that in the 2013 budget, we've laid out a plan that will please you, the residents of Vernon. Included in the cash fund surplus that I referenced, for the first time in Vernon's history, we have created a line item in this budget referred to as a sinking fund for future bond payment. Why have we done that? If you look at the permanent bond that was, for example, floated in the spring of 2011 prior to my advent to this office, you would see that from an initial payment of approximately $700,000, that annual payment will rise to somewhere above $1.2 million in the very near future. If, in fact, we don't plan for that increase in that bond payment, some government in the future, one when I may or may not be here, will be faced with raising your taxes to pay for that permanent bond. By planning ahead and putting into effect a sinking fund with the capital that we have available to us, a decision was made. We could have laid that money against the property tax and dropped your property tax another penny or two. And from a political point of view, it may have looked very, very good. But down the road, you, the taxpayer, would have had to pay the piper again. We are attempting to put in place a financial plan that will, in fact, level out the property taxes that you pay in Vernon Township for municipal purposes. They're deflecting down gently, and that's exactly the financial plan that we have in place. But let's get to the real numbers, okay? This budget carries $2.5 million to pay down on pre-existing bond anticipation notes and permanent bonds. We have, in fact, done a complete analysis of the bond anticipation notes that existed prior to, again, this administration coming into office, and we have cataloged them by the highest interest and the shortest amount of time for being repaid. As we move forward in 2013, our financial consultants have recommended that we look at refunding and recasting bond debt because right now the interest rate that Vernon Township pays is minuscule. The last bond anticipation note that Vernon Township rolled for the purchase of the sewer from United Water was financed at less than 1%, 0.92%. Now, we have some bonds that we're paying, bond anticipation notes and bonds, that we're paying 3, 3.8, 4, 4.2. We are looking at recasting, refunding, and rebonding those so that in fact we can reduce the interest rate and thereby reduce the payment that you, the taxpayers, have been committed to by previous administrations. I'll be talking more to you about this as we move through the year because it's going to take some action on the part of the town council and some education on the part of your town government with the people who live here so that they understand exactly what we're doing and why. But suffice it to say this, I am committed, as is your town council, to providing you the very best services that we're capable of at the most reasonable price. And having said that, I'm going to also share with you, Vernon Township is the least expensive property tax township of a full-service community in all of northwestern New Jersey. When I say full service, I mean DPW, police, fire, ambulance, K-12 school system. And while I'm on that, I want to thank and congratulate the school board for a job well done this year in joining us, the town council, in reducing your property tax. When we come back, we'll talk about several of the projects that we have planned as a result of the 2013 budget. We'll be back in just a minute.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. I mentioned some of the projects that we have set objectives for in the 2013 budget, and I'd like to share them with you at this point in time. One of the major projects that will be completed in 2013 is the completion of our radio communication system here in Vernon Township. We began this project in 2011 upon taking office, and by the end of this year, Vernon Township will have ultra-high frequency radio communication throughout the community for its ambulance, fire, and police. And while that may not strike you as a dramatic achievement, several things. It will put us 3 years ahead of the federal mandate that all communities, fire, safety, and ambulance communication systems be on ultra-high frequency. In addition, more importantly, it will eradicate any dead spots that exist in Vernon Township for all three of our emergency services. Again, fire, ambulance, and police. That project will total about $150,000. Much of it we've already invested over the last year and a half, providing new radios for the ambulances and for the fire company, and preparing the dispatch center here in the municipal center for the advent of ultra-high frequency. By the end of 2013, that project will be done. I have made reference in previous Vernon Vibes that one of my major concerns has been the manner in which our infrastructure has been ignored in Vernon Township over the past decade. This year, $250,000 has been committed to the budget as the first year of a 6-year plan to address every mile of secondary and tertiary streets and roads in Vernon Township. When I say address, that is to repair catch basins, repair storm drains, to repair crumbled curbing, and also to resurface where necessary. This project has been too long ignored in Vernon Township. And so as we move through the building year, I am sure that you will see your DPW with their paver and their oil and stone and the other things necessary to begin a 6-year program that has been long ignored. Again, achieving it by planning and moving the resources where they belong rather than where they are not. In addition, our police dispatch center and command post will have a completely new CAD system, and our police officers will have available to them what's known as e-ticket. I've spoken to this issue in the past, but I'd just like to remind you that it will be implemented during 2013, and as a friendly reminder to all people who drive in Vernon Township, if you get pulled over and you get an e-ticket, when it's handed to you, it's already been filed in the court. So I would suggest to you that you, of course, use caution and drive with care, because our police officers are equipped with the very best equipment available to do their job, and will continue doing that so that Vernon Township Professional Police Department, in fact, have the tools necessary to succeed. In closing, I would like to just say a very brief word about an issue that, of course, has gleaned a tremendous amount of newspaper space. As many of you know, on Friday afternoon of this past week, Vernon Township appeared before Judge Edward Gannon in State Superior Court in relationship to the order to show cause that was filed by Vernon Township, directing the people who had received the documents with their ability to expose the Social Security numbers. And of course, I think that Judge Gannon, in his final decision, was wise and, in fact, fair. In essence, Vernon Township achieved what we went to court for. We wanted from all of the litigants a guarantee that they had not or would not distribute the information, that they would delete it from their computers, and that they would certify that they had done so, or certify who they had distributed that information to. The judge ordered that to happen. He also ordered that Vernon Township pay the legal fees of the people who were, in fact, the defendants in this case. That's fair. I know full well that the people who received it never anticipated that they would see that information. But I also know well that some of them did not take the necessary steps that they could have and should have. And thirdly, I want to say this. What hasn't been reported is that at the direction of the town council, Mr. Kelly, our attorney, entered into settlement discussions with all of the defendants. The New Jersey Herald and Vernon Township came to an agreement, and they were dropped from the case. The attorney for the others, while indicating that he was in discussions to, in fact, settle the case, chose not to settle the case. That's fine. That's all the legal process. The judge has ruled. Vernon Township will follow the judge's ruling, and we would expect that the defendants would do the same. That's all that I have to say on the issue. Certainly, as time goes on, we will see. We have taken the steps to protect our employees with LifeLock. That has a financial impact. There's no question about it. But we also will be very vigilant to see to it that none of our employees have a problem with identity being stolen. I want to thank you for joining me, as you always do. The news about your budget is positive. Your town council continues to work very hard on your behalf, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Vernon's Vibes.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine, with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.